This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Scott Dennis has the day off. Our top story tonight, the final stretch before Election Day. Both presidential nominees are turning their focus to the battleground state of Florida and the Suncoast. And with Election Day 2 weeks from tomorrow, Hillary Clinton appears to be getting a late boost while Donald Trump falls behind. During a meeting with Florida farmers, Trump said many of the polls which show him trailing Clinton are phony. He claims most polls can't be trusted, but he did say that the polls, quote, mean something, showing him winning. The latest ABC News tracking poll has Trump 12 points behind Clinton nationally.
I actually think we're winning, and what they do is they show these phony polls where they look at Democrats, and it's heavily weighted with Democrats.
Hillary Clinton campaigned in battleground New Hampshire with Senate candidate Maggie Hassan and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Polls show Clinton leading there by 15 points, so she largely used her visit to help other Democratic candidates. And tonight, a huge crowd is waiting at an amphitheater in Tampa for Donald Trump to arrive. The Republican presidential nominee's rally is expected to start about 7 o'clock. And ABC7's Alan Cohn is joining us now live from Tampa. Alan.
Good evening, Haley. You know, they have changed the name of this amphitheater a lot over the years, but the one constant is it is a great place to catch a performance. And tonight, that performance is Donald Trump in the closing days of his presidential campaign. Don't believe the media. Don't believe the polls. That is not only what Donald Trump is saying, that is what his supporters are telling us.
Don't believe the media. The media is so biased against him, and if you don't like him, look at the issues. Take the candidates out of the equation and look at the issues, and then you will vote for Trump.
Trump is making his way here now from his last speaking engagement in St. Augustine, and before he talks to this crowd here, he will talk exclusively to us, and we'll have that coming up at 7 o'clock. Reporting live in Tampa, Alan Cohn, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Alan. Hillary Clinton plans to return to Florida this week. The Democratic presidential nominee will appear at a public event at Broward College North Campus in Coconut Creek tomorrow. On Wednesday, she will campaign at Palm Beach State College at Lake Worth in the morning, and then at Curtis Hickson Waterfront Park in Tampa that afternoon. Clinton will lay out her economic plan and urge people to take advantage of early voting. The Democratic vice presidential nominee is also planning to make stops in the Sunshine State this week. Tim Kaine will visit Sarasota and Tallahassee this Friday. Kaine will urge Floridians to take advantage of early voting and ask them to support him and Hillary Clinton. Details on Kaine's Friday events have not been released just yet. The presidential nominees are focusing on Florida this week, just as early voting is getting underway. Select polls open their doors today for those wanting to cast their ballots before the general election on November 8th. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo is joining us now live from one of those polling places in Sarasota with how it's going so far. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, good afternoon. Voters around the state can let their voice be heard early, and more than 1 million registered voters did just that around the state. I'm here at North Library in Sarasota, one of the 7 locations for early voting in the county. Now, many voters are just wanting to make the process of voting a little painless as possible. Early voting on the Suncoast has begun. The big day just a few weeks away. Voters who want to beat the crowds on Election Day decided to get an early start.
This was much easier. I was very glad for the opportunity to come.
I don't want to be stuck out here in lines, beat the crowd basically.
Most wanted to avoid the long lines and the wait, but there was another reason.
I usually mail in my ballot, but this election is too important to trust to the mail service, I felt.
Sarasota's election supervisor, Kathy Dent, says there's already more than 6,000 people who came out to vote in the county, which she thinks is a good indication of a great turnout. She also expects a huge number of residents to come through and vote for early voting, but not as much as previous elections.
Right now, Venice and Northport are the best sites. They've had the highest turnout. We are having so many vote-by-mail ballots come in that it's going to take away from Election Day and the early voting, because vote by mail is the most popular way to vote in Florida now.
But although it was smooth sailing at various polling places around the area, there was a little bit of controversy here in Manatee County.
Manatee County workers were removing political signs due to a new ban in effect prohibiting these signs on any county-owned property. A ban enforced not by the supervisor of elections, but by the county, according to Manatee County Supervisor Mike Bennett.
They really didn't want political signs on the county property. It was just getting, in some cases, it was really a safety hazard, blocking some locations, visibility, that type of thing.
Bennett also saying he doesn't think it will be a high priority for the county.
So I don't think that the county is going to run around and pick up every single sign. I think they're going to be selective, and when they see signs that are truly interfering with the flow of traffic, interfering with safety, they're going to pick them up.
Now, early voting will end Saturday, November 5th at 6:30. Reporting in Sarasota, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Dwayne. And as we get closer to the election, you can get updates and breaking news 24 hours a day by downloading our My Suncoast app. Just head to the App Store and search ABC7 Sarasota for news, traffic, and weather information. And now let's head over to Bob and get a check on our forecast. It feels lovely out there, Bob. Warmer, but nice.
It's a little bit warmer, yeah, not too bad. The low humidity around. By the way, you can also download the My Suncoast weather app, too, which gives you the look of the radar, and you can track all sorts of different things in the storms as far as that goes. And no storms around right now. Skies are generally clear, and we have some high, thin cirrus clouds moving overhead. Dew point is very comfortable, 54 degrees, winds out of the north-northwest today. The pressure extremely high, 30-13, and that continues to rise. The forecast temperatures through the 11 o'clock hour into the upper 60s under generally fair skies anticipated with, as I said, no real mention of any rainfall at all. You can see from the visible satellite imagery, we have some low clouds, at least the east and northeasterly wind flow bringing some clouds there. And then these higher variety of clouds are moving from the west to the east overhead, making for a delightful day today with temperatures a little bit warmer than over the weekend, but still we're looking for a cool evening ahead with low temperatures dropping down into the upper 50s to low 60s for wake-up times tomorrow. We'll have more in the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Tonight, the Florida Highway Patrol is releasing new information about the car involved in a hit and run that killed a Sarasota woman. State troopers say 61-year-old Lynn Taylor was walking on Gulfgate Drive last Tuesday night when a car hit her, then drove off. Taylor was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital, where she later died. Troopers believe the car involved may have been a white or light-colored Chrysler PT Cruiser with a sunroof. It would have damage to its front side. If you have any information, you are asked to call Sarasota County Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS. Authorities say 4 men wearing Halloween masks may be responsible for 2 separate robbery attempts on the Suncoast. Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies say around 5:45 yesterday morning, 4 men wearing masks and hoodies tried to break into the Metro PCS store in Port Charlotte. The suspects tried to smash the glass door but were unsuccessful. About an hour and a half later, Manatee County Sheriff's deputies say 4 men wearing masks forced their way into the Puma Athletic store at the Ellenton Outlet Mall. Deputies say the men took some clothing and then left about a minute later. Anyone with information should call Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. And ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now with some great news that, Richard, up arrows across the board on Wall Street to start the week.
And that's the way we like to start the week, and we certainly did. We saw triple-digit gains almost all morning, double-digit gains in the afternoon, finished in between, as I'm about to show you. But a lot of it has to do with, number one, very, very good corporate earnings. Number two, a huge takeover announcement over the weekend. AT&T looking to buy Time Warner for a mere $85 billion. Certainly didn't hurt the mood on Wall Street. And as I say, all day long, nothing but up arrows. Let's take a look at the closing numbers. There you see the Dow up more than 77 points, better than 0.4%, closing at 18,223.03. That on volume of 691 million shares. The NASDAQ was the star of our show, up by exactly 1%, more than 52 points, closing at 5,309.83. That on volume of 1,616 million shares. The S&P, very much like the Dow, up not quite 0.5%, more than 10 points, closing at 2,151.33. Well, it's not only AT&T and Time Warner. How about the discount brokerage business? TD Ameritrade, the largest discount broker in this country in terms of the number of transactions processed, is buying Scottrade, a smaller but significant player in the discount brokerage business, for $4 billion. That's with a B. TD Ameritrade, of course, is based on Toronto Dominion. You may be familiar with that. The deal is expected to close by September of next year, September 2017. And as many of you may know, the volume has been rather low lately. The volatility has been low. Therefore, the number of transactions have been low, and those in the discount brokerage business are trying to scramble to see what they can make out of all that. And Haley, that's really the bottom line. It looks like TD Ameritrade is just trying to add another arrow to its quiver, and maybe at a good price.
All right, and Richard, what about news on T-Mobile?
Very good news. They announced earnings actually today, and at the end of the day, the stock was up by 9%. Not bad, not bad at all.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, tragedy on a California interstate. What investigators have learned about the accident between a tour bus and tractor trailer that claimed the lives of 13 people. Plus, ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, later in Health Smart, how your weight at a certain age could affect your chances of dying from diabetes.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a brand new 2017 Lexus ES 350 for only $379. Just $379 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Lease a new Lexus RX 350 for only $419. Just $419 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Investigators are seeking answers into a deadly tour bus crash. Over the weekend, a bus crashed into a truck, killing 13 people and injuring dozens of others. ABC's Dania Backus is at the hospital in Palm Springs with more.
This mangled wreckage is the scene of one of California's deadliest road accidents. More than a dozen people, including the driver, killed when a USA Holiday tour bus heading back to Los Angeles from a casino slammed into a tractor trailer.
I will tell you, the speed of the bus was so significant that when it hit the back of the big rig, the trailer, The trailer itself entered about 15 feet into the bus.
31 people were injured. Investigators still trying to figure out what caused the crash. The bus company's records show no history of accidents or mechanical problems. The driver of the trailer saying he doesn't remember much about the accident.
The impact just, hit me from behind, and I just blacked out for a minute. And when I gained my conscience, I undid my seatbelt and looked around, tried to see what happened with, thought I had got ran over by something. And that's why I got out my truck.
Back in Los Angeles, a memorial is growing where the bus was expected to return. Those who lost loved ones still processing the tragedy. Rosalba Ruiz was a mother and grandmother. Her family told she died instantly.
She got along with everybody, and she enjoyed doing what she was doing, went to the casino.
Officials say a possible medical condition or even fatigue may have been a reason why the driver failed to apply the brakes. In Palm Springs, Danya Backus, ABC News.
Thank you, Danya. So tragic. Well, we're starting to see some cooler temperatures on the Sun Coast, but it was a white wake-up call for many people in parts of Vermont. Totally different than the Sun Coast. Bolton Valley Ski Resort says at least 9 inches of snow fell on the mountain yesterday, and more is expected this week. Winter sports fans are excited, but many people in the state didn't see snow. Instead, they had to deal with power outages. Nearly 3,000 people were without power due to snow and winds in certain areas. It's pretty.
It is pretty. I like that little snowboard. I did that up at Burke Mountain in Vermont many years ago. Yeah. Getting snow there already and still snowing in places up in the Northeast right now. The radar picture showing that activity occurring and through parts of Maine now. It's really let up in Vermont. We're starting to see that snow, though, into Quebec and near Montreal, kind of a rain-snow mix there. And not quite lake effect snows yet, but you can see that moisture trail moving through parts of New York and Pennsylvania. That is a result of that cold air moving across the relatively warmer waters of the Great Lakes. For us, we're high and dry here. High pressure continues to dominate the weather. Things are looking pretty good. And as far as the weather headlines go, a gradual warming trend can be expected through this week. Will be a little warmer each day. No real threat of any significant rainfall, and the tropics for a change are quiet and looks to stay that way. The Casey Key webcam showing pretty much flat conditions out there with that east wind. You can see that quite clearly. Nice calm conditions there. Offshore, though, with a little bit of east northeasterly wind, sometimes you get a little bit higher seas offshore. Well, the photo sent in from Cindy Desmond showing these beautiful clouds that we're moving through today. These nice cirrus clouds create some interesting little pictures, if you will, if you want to in your mind. Think of different images there. That one look like an angel. A 65 for a low temperature into near Fort Myers. I should say 64 there. 60 in Sarasota. 55 in Jacksonville. Daytona Beach right around 59. Highs tomorrow will top out into the low to mid 80s for the most part. And then we'll see temperatures gradually warming for overnight readings. We're expecting low temperatures to be into the upper 60s by Wednesday morning. So a little bit warmer, but not bad. With the low humidity around, it's 64, I should say 82 degrees, but 54 degree dew point. The humidity at 38%. That's low. And the pressure 30-13. That's high. It continues to rise. And 81 degrees, the current temperature in Tallahassee. Jacksonville at 77. Orlando the same. 82 now into Miami and 81 in Key West. Our forecast tomorrow looks like this. We'll start off with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies all the way through. Temperatures into the mid 80s, which is fairly typical for this time of year. High temperatures normally right around 84 degrees, so no big changes there. The winds will stay out of the northeast throughout the day on Tuesday. Not all that high, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. It will get a little bit breezy, though, on Wednesday as the pressure gradient starts to tighten up a bit as a low pressure area moves in over the central U.S. But all in all, a pretty quiet day across most of the southeast as a large area of high pressure remains in control. The next storm system is gathering over the Pacific Northwest and will eventually bring some changes across the central part of the country. A lot of shear going on all throughout the Atlantic and no threat of anything developing right now. All is quiet there as well as in the Caribbean at this point. The Caribbean, though, still fairly warm, fairly significantly warm there in the Northwest Caribbean. That front never making it all the way through. Well, high pressure dominating the weather. It will get bumped out a little bit by this cold front moving this high pressure to the east. We'll still get that east to southeasterly wind flow, which will have a tendency to warm us up a little bit by midweek. Northeast winds for boaters pretty good out there. Seas running right around 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. And as far as the water temperature goes now, into the mid 70s. So that's a good sign for the Gulf of Mexico anyway, that things have shut down there as a result of that front. The UV index at a 10, and that is considered high for beaches tomorrow. High tide upcoming, 10:22, a low tide at 4:22, another high tide at 9:36, and sunset will be at 6:53. Tonight, cool once again, low temperatures slightly below average, upper 50s east of the interstate. We'll have mostly fair skies. It will be comfortable, and a cold front has already moved on through, so we see another one kind of slip down later on this week. Slightly warmer tomorrow, high of 85, partly cloudy and mild. And look for beautiful weather right through Friday, and then a weak cold front on Saturday. Looking good for Halloween, too, with fair skies and 83. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Right now, traffic is backed up in South Sarasota County in the northbound lanes of US 41 at Stickney Point Road. In health news tonight, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs, are associated with an increased risk of heart failure, even in people without a history of cardiac issues. That's according to a study by the Danish Heart Foundation. Overall, the odds of a hospital admission for heart failure was 19% higher for people who used NSAIDs in the previous 2 weeks. Not all NSAIDs showed the same level of risk. The increased odds of a heart failure hospitalization were just 16% for naproxen, the ingredient in Aleve, but 83% for ketorolac. Many NSAIDs, including Celebrex, were tied to little or no increased risk. A higher weight, even just slightly, during the teenage years may be tied to a higher risk of death from diabetes later in life. Researchers with Hebrew University in Israel found elevated BMI at adolescents, including values within the currently accepted normal range, strongly increase risk of diabetes mortality later in life. As teenage BMI rose, the risk of eventual death from diabetes gradually increased as well. Researchers say teens should focus on a healthy diet and exercise to manage their weight. Coming up, a ride along in a patrol car takes a dangerous turn. What happened when the officer started chasing a suspect? Plus, the hottest tickets around. How much money the World Series tickets between the Cubs and Indians are going for. And it's crazy when we come back.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by Gulf Coast Honda. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
The celebration is heating up and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Grand Cherokees or get big savings on a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Now to a dramatic video from a police ride-along that ended in gunfire and a manhunt.
Careful, one shots fired.
A civilian woman was out on a ride-along with a police officer in Madera, California when a traffic stop turned violent. The dash cam video shows the officer trying to pull over a white Mazda when the car takes off, beginning a chase. Within seconds, someone inside the car opens fire on the police cruiser. A bullet shattered windows and disabled the vehicle. Police later found the car, but the suspect got away. Investigators say it could have been worse.
14 rounds, 2 through the window, 1 into the right rear tire. Incredibly lucky. We also had a round that went into a residence, into a bedroom, and ended up in a pile of clothes.
The officer was not hurt at all, but the young woman has some minor cuts from the broken glass. So far, no arrests have been made. The mother of once conjoined twins is now calling this moment one of the most profound of her life. Nicole McDonald is cradling her 13-month-old son, Jaden, alone for the first time ever. Doctors at Montefiore Hospital in New York separated Jaden and his brother Aeneas after a surgery that lasted 27 hours. Nicole had to wait to hold Jaden until doctors removed his breathing tube. The twins were born conjoined at the head. The McDonalds have yet to hold Aeneas. He is progressing slower than Jaden, but doctors expect his recovery just to take a little bit more time. With the National League Championship now in their pockets, Chicago Cubs fans are snatching up all kinds of gear to show their team spirit. Generations of fans have only dreamed of buying World Series gear until now. That energy is quickly translating into sales. The demand for hats, shirts, and bags unprecedented. Some of the stores around Wrigley are so packed, it's difficult to even get through the aisles, and businesses are having a hard time unpacking items to put on display before they are sold.
I've never seen anything like this. An average Sunday in October has been 0. So this is a billion% higher.
Those stores around Wrigley say that fans from around the globe are cashing in on this playoff run. The Chicago Cubs haven't won a World Series championship since 1908. The Cleveland Indians last won in 1948, so it makes sense that ticket prices for this year's historic matchup between the two cities out of the park. According to ticket tracker Ticket IQ, the average asking price for the 4 baseball games in Cleveland is about $3,900. But that's a bargain compared to what it costs to get into games 3, 4, and 5 in Chicago. The average price for those games at Wrigley Field is about $7,200. The series begins tomorrow night in Cleveland, and we looked at game 1 in Chicago. Standing rooms like $2,500. But what an experience. Still to come on your Suncoast News, a memorable lesson outside of the classroom.
Sarasota Sheriff's Office!
License. A group of students learned firsthand what it takes to be a deputy with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. What the teens have to say about this experience coming up next.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little Sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Bella siccome un angelo in terra per
Sarasota Opera presents Donizetti's Don Pasquale. 6 performances from October 28th through November 13th. Reserve your tickets at sarasotaopera.org.